people unemployed, 22 million people unable to pay their rent, maybe 25 million people hungry right now. Wall Street's on fire. You know? Who cares if Joe Blow can't, afford to have a place to eat or sleep or be housed? Wall Street just keeps moving in this bull direction. And I think it's weird because you got a couple companies that are like outperforming everybody right now. Apple and Tesla seem to be like the real rock stars of Wall Street right now. And they're both set for a split. And they're going to be doing, Apple's doing like a 4-to-1 split. I think Tesla's doing like a 5-to-1, something like that. And what I think is funny is that usually when these stocks split, people lowers the stock price and people jump in. Now they're saying they don't know if people are going to jump in as much because people are doing fractional trading, right? Because like these stock prices have gotten so expensive that people are buying fractions of it. And I'm like, if you're buying a fraction of a share, like I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you're not going to get rich anytime quick. Like no one was ever like, I owed 1/10 of a share, and boy, did that change my life, If you, I don't know. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Time will tell. That was my little Jim Cramer moment. Wall Street talk here on the Drunken Under Quarantine show. The other day I was driving down the highway and I noticed kind of an odd topic or odd sign. There was a sign that was next to the highway that said, "Adopt a highway." Have you guys seen this? Adopt a highway. And it's kind of strange to me because like I've seen other people use like the word sponsor a highway, which anyway, if you have to be like a corporate sponsorship, but the adopt a highway was kind of peculiar. It's like, it's basically just saying to everyone, look, we have a highway. We don't know if we can keep it anymore. It might not have been a sound financial decision for us to have a highway. So we're wondering if just someone else would adopt this, like maybe Walmart. It's like, I'll tell you, like the FDR right now needs to abort a highway, the shape that they are in. I don't know. I think it's tough right now, because the world's just such a bad place, in many degrees. I saw one of these stickers recently. I don't know if you guys can see this. Which one? Well, no, it's really bright, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's the old sticker that you put on with like a fireman carrying a child, and they called it the Tot Finder. And so when your house was on fire, the firemen would be able to locate where the kids were in the house. But you know who else used them apparently? Pedophiles. They're like, we have stickers all over our house identifying where the children are. So apparently that was why that campaign came to a screeching halt. So I was thinking about, there's apparently fire stations still have them because they got rid of them quite quickly. But I was thinking about maybe placing a couple around my deer stand this year. I don't know. I'm just putting a Tot Finder in the window that just leads right to the basement. But that's my week in a nutshell. G-Dub, how you doing?
Oh man, I am bored as fuck. There's only so much TV a guy can watch without going, I need to read a book or something. Today I watched the entire, this show called Rust Valley Restorers. And it's all about this guy with dreadlocks who restores old cars. And I watched the entire season today just because I could. Not that I'm interested in cars or any of the drama that goes around with it. It was just, this is on. Cool. I Does anyone else hear about the 2 hurricanes going to the Gulf of Mexico today or this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see this. Like I that sounds really rude to be excited for 2 hurricanes. But like I can just picture them like fighting in the ocean, being like, "Oh no, this is my water. No, this is my water." And I'm hoping they just form up to be like one massive giant hurricane and take out Louisiana, because fuck that state. Louisiana knows what it did, and it's also touching Mississippi, which is Mississippi really going to be that big of a loss? I mean, Florida's all right, and there's a lot of old people from Vermont there, but yeah, fuck it. It's time to sink Florida too. Just get rid of most of the South, I think, is what I'm really trying to say. Yeah. I got nothing. I'm so fucking wiped out with everything. By the way, speaking of, someone brought up, I believe Colin brought up paper straws. Can we just get rid of them? I went to McDonald's earlier today, and I got a soda in a plastic cup with a plastic lid and a paper straw. I just pick one or the other. Either we're gonna go full environmentalist and get paper everything, or just say fuck the environment, keep your plastic. And by the way, if you've never used a paper straw, here's what it's like. Crinkle up an old toilet paper roll and try sucking water out of it. It tastes like shit. Like, I was never one of those people who ate construction paper as a child. I know they were out there, and they must be loving this shit. But between that and like eating paste, that's the only thing that I could think of when I ever use a paper straw. Like, I'd rather use one of those stupid fucking aluminum straws, which, you know, you'll poke your eye out if you fucking use it too much. But yeah, man, there we go. That was my week. Let me see if our next performer is ready, because that was kind of quick. I'm sorry, guys. He is. Let's give it up for the host of the show, the incredible, edible Hickory, the drunken underwhelming.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. For tonight, I'll perform you a piece of magic here. And like many feats I've performed before, it's going to include snacks. Not those snacks. These ones. And this right here is called fishbowl. As you guys can see, what we're going to do here, I'll show you how the Hickory Drunk and Underwhelming make one of these bad boys disappear. Like that. Now that, one way. I'll show you the other way. Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming to make a goldfish disappear. Well, you can also make them reappear. Given that premise, I'm going to show you guys something neat here. What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 goldfish. You guys can see that, right? I'll leave one there. We'll put 2 in this hand. We'll take this one, make it disappear, and then move to that hand. Now, I realize that might have been a little difficult to follow. Try this again. Take 2 into this hand. one into this hand. Give it a wave. All right, let's try this one more time. 2 into that hand. This one. So there's no chance of it coming back. God, what a tasty cracker. Need a little slight of stomach.
Huh.
We are back to 3 goldfish. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting to you our guest of the evening. A very funny man. The most famous Twitter friend that anybody on the show may have. A man who does the McTaggart Attack podcast. He's also pretty damn funny. Has a great episode coming out tomorrow about some conspiracies we'll be talking about later tonight. A little teaser. Welcoming to our spotlight stage, Mr. Kevin McTaggart.
Hey guys.
Ooh.
All right. I just got some shit to get off my chest, and you guys are going to have to deal with it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. This pandemic has really hurt me in ways that I didn't think that it would. My 2 favorite bars are gone. That's it. They closed before the pandemic, like, at the beginning of the pandemic, and then they're not reopening. Like, they were my 2 favorite bars because they were the ones closest to the house, And now it's like at least a 10-mile drive to the nearest bar. So, like, I'm never drinking again. And honestly, actually, come to think of it, I haven't actually been drinking that much at all for the past 1.5 years or so. So whenever I go to Salt Hill in Hanover or Margaritas in Lebanon, I'd always wish, God, I wish something would happen that would just take these wretched places away. And thank you, COVID-19. Thank you so much. Now stop killing people. Just stop killing people. Another thing that this pandemic has taken away is my favorite golf course. My favorite golf course was Hanover Country Club. Again, because it's the closest one to the house. But, like, there have been rumors for years. There were meetings, like, for the past couple of years deciding what they were going to do with it. They were actually thinking of closing it. And, like, a couple of years ago, they met and decided options and what they were going to do. And then, lo and behold, the virus pandemic showed up and gave them an option. Like, I love this. Like, this was hilarious to me. Like, they announced in, like, May that they weren't going to open this year. All the other courses around the area were opening to limited restrictions, of course. But Hanover announced that they weren't going to open, for this year. And then there was a Q&A section in this web link that they sent out. And one of the questions was, well, what about next year? Are you going to open next year? And like, we haven't decided that yet. If they had known they were going to open next year, they would have given a more definitive answer. Then, like 2 months later, they announced that they aren't opening. That they're shutting it down completely. It's so stupid. I'm obviously the only one that loves golf here, so whatever. I don't care. Like I said, I have shit to get off my chest, and you guys are just gonna have to deal. Like, here's another thing. Like, did you know that July 31st is Harry Potter's birthday?
I did not know that.
And people celebrate it. People celebrate it. People were celebrating it down in Keene, New Hampshire on July 31st. And, like, I guess I can't get mad at people celebrating a fictional character's birthday when I celebrate Christmas. Santa's birthday. I mean, why do we celebrate Harry Potter's birthday anyway? I mean, Neville Longbottom's birthday was July 30th, and he's the real hero of the whole fucking series, if that's you want my damn opinion about it. He did more than Harry did. All Harry did was cry and stuff and die a couple times. Neville kicked ass and deserves more credit. They should reboot it as the Neville Longbottom story or something like that. Oh my god. What the fuck else did I write down here? I can't even read my fucking writing. What does that say? Oh, like Hickory said, I am on Twitter. Follow me at McTaggart Attack. I'll wait. Never mind. But when you're on Twitter as much as I am, you get people mad at you for the stupidest things. Like, I decided to share a picture of my Instagram profile and ask my 50,000 something followers to follow me on Instagram. And I had one person reply back, "No, I refuse. I'm not going to do anything associated with Zuckerberg. I choose not to be a slave." And I'm like, I don't think slaves had a choice. You know? I think slaves have a choice, I guess. They could, one, be a slave or two, die. Those are their choices. Oh my god. That's just so stupid. And I got into another Twitter argument today, and it was about wrestling, so bear with me. GW might like this, I don't know. But SummerSlam, WWE SummerSlam was last night, and Roman Reigns, who'd been gone for a couple months because he didn't like the WWE's testing policy. They didn't have a testing policy. He finally came back last night and beat up these two guys. And they have two shows, Raw and SmackDown. And Roman Reigns is on SmackDown with these other two guys. And this guy on Twitter was going off on about it, like, "Oh, can't wait to watch Raw. Can't wait to see him on Raw tomorrow." And I'm like, he's not on Raw. He's on SmackDown. Well, what's the point of that? Going to, SmackDown to fight, the WWE champion? And like, no, the WWE champion is on Raw. And like, this guy tweets at me a lot about wrestling. I'm like, he doesn't even watch the show. I had to clarify it for him. I'm like, do you even watch the shows? Do you even watch any of the shows? Twitter is the worst. I do get mad so much. And I'll end with this. And I try to, like, improve my mindset, especially in horrible times like this. And I try to stay more positive, and I try to have a more positive mindset now. And I'm just positive that nobody hates me more than I do. And that's so refreshing. How are you guys?
We're good, sir.
That
Thanks
was all
for joining us. We're glad to have you. I do have a clarification question, though. Harry Potter's birthday, was that the day the book came out? or did
No, that was his birthday in the book.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify there because I was confused.
I'm
ashamed that I know that.
I've never read any of the books or seen any of the movies, so everything you said was just complete gibberish to me.
Yeah, I mean, I just Googled Harry Potter's birthday, and it comes up. Why can't you see my fucking... This is what I got to do.
I'm telling you, it said July 30th.
Does that help? No, but then that's too glare. It's July 31st.
You just got to get your screen dirtier.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said. It's funny. It says birthplace England.
Yeah, he's a fictional character.
He was not a real fucking person.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I would say birthplace was J.K. Rowling's head.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I also wanted to follow up, Colin. You said Top Finder. I I think the same when people post firearms emblems on the outside of their house. It's very much like, hey, we're a house to rob. Like that's
Yeah, Rolex watches should come with a sticker you could put in your window on your house.
we have
$23,000 watch.
I forgot one.
Maybach in the driveway.
I forgot one I wanted to show you guys real quick. I had somebody message me and say, how, Hickory, when you do the goldfish trick out at bars, how do you reset for it? And I wanted to show you. You take the empty fish bowl, and you take one of these, and you stick that under there like that. And now you have it's a magic weight loss powder mixed with those goldfish. It cancels out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful snack for late nights when you need a little more energy.
Because nothing I love more than with goldfish crackers is cocaine.
People never said I was much of a chef, but I have to say, people always seem to like that one.
You just kind of swim through it. So I'd say those goldfish are high as hell. But right on tonight's topics, we're going to lead off with, I watched it just before the show because everybody said, hey, Hickory, you got to watch this. The new Batman trailer came out this past week. And we got G-Dubs is on it. We got Daniel Radcliffe.
Nope.
Playing. Oh, sorry.
No.
What's his name?
Close enough. We got Daniel Radcliffe 2.0.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh, there we go.
He was my friend. And Baltimore killed him.
Still have no idea.
DW has no reference to what that is, but that was a line.
All I can think about when I see that guy is that like those videos you see where it's like the 10 most uncomfortable scenes, and there's like the clip of him like actually rubbing one out on for a movie.
I would say, they've got to be probably 6 out of 10 of them. They got Robert Pattinson because Daniel Radcliffe was doing a play. That's why he's going to be doing Batman.
Oh, okay. Insight, G-Dubs, what do you think?
At first, I was a little tepid about the idea of having Robert play Batman. I've only seen him in the Twilight films, and what was it, the elephant movie with
Water for Elephants?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was my Robert Pattinson frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that Michael Keaton was fucking Batman, and he kicked ass.
Right.
So I mean, it can't be that bad. It's fucking Batman.
No.
I was impressed with the level of the shooting, cinematography, everything, that somehow they made him look like a badass.
Right. Well, it's the movies, so
I know it's way more magical than any magic you can see. Is that Robert Pattinson looks like a legit badass in this movie. Colin, your thoughts?
Well, I watched the trailer just thinking, a lot of people are going to hate what I, but just how badass Christian Bale and the Nolan Batmans are. Opposed to DC making another one with him, just make number, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, because to me, like, Christian Bale is kind of the he just nailed it. That scene when, because like you have to look, and that was like what.
Oh, Colin's got a little lag issue.
This is insightful content from
you know what I
from
mean? And
Colin.
he just looked like that
Can I jump in?
suave, kind of thing.
Guess I can't jump in.
Can you hear me?
Well, a few words at a time. It was definitely a little choppy there.
Hello.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds better.
Is he talking?
No, I think he's in freeze frame. Kevin, we'll have you pop in on this.
Okay, I'll pop in on this. I try not to be skeptical of anyone cast in Batman movies anymore, like, because they always seem to do a pretty good job, regardless of like the role. Like Heath Ledger was harshly criticized before that movie came out, and like Michael Keaton, for example, was harshly criticized before that movie came out, and they all turned out pretty well. And I did like this trailer. I thought it was great. I do know they had to stop filming, so they still have a lot left to film for the movie,
Yep.
So, but based on the 2+ minutes that they showed us, it was great. I put something on Instagram earlier today that said you had me at I'm vengeance, which is what he says at the end. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm in. I'm good.
That's fair.
I can't wait till October 2021.
That's a bold statement.
Hopefully we're still alive by then.
Is it 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we'll make it that far. I did just hear that there is a 0.054 chance of a meteor coming in close contact with our planet on November 2nd. My first thought was that meteor is just trying to suppress votes. Yeah. It's a white supremacist meteor. We're sorry. It is what it is. Moving on to our next topic. DNC was this past week, the Democratic National Convention.
All the time.
Did you guys catch any? Do we have any thoughts, any takeaways other than how is the party that owns Hollywood producing such poor content? That was all I could. Sorry, Kevin.
I'll go. Sorry.
Okay.
I did not watch it, but because I already know who I'm not voting for, and I'm just glad that. All I'll say is that I really hope that this Biden strategy works for the Democrats. It seemed like months ago when everybody bailed out of the race and backed Biden, they created some mighty Morphin Power Ranger monster to go against Trump. And I'm like, you really want Biden to be the head of this robot? I'm really sorry that I used a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger reference, but because I hate the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I prefer to use Voltron, but I'm not going to say that they created a Voltron robot because that would be disrespecting Voltron. But yeah, I hope this strategy works for them.
They didn't go with the red Power
I should point out I am
Ranger.
voting for Biden.
They didn't go with the green Power Ranger. They didn't go with the white Power Ranger. They didn't go with a black Power Ranger. They went with the blue Power Ranger.
They did go with the white Power Ranger.
They went with Billy
Yeah,
the blue Power Ranger.
That's right. Yeah. They did.
I'm just impressed you know the name of the Blue Power Ranger, Colin.
All
I remember as Tommy. That was the only one I
with
remember.
Jason. Jason was the red.
Tommy was the white one, right?
Oh, they could have went with Kimberly, the pink one. And
It was pink. And what was the derogatory term that they called the black Power Ranger?
Zach.
I can't remember. It had to have been supremely racist. I'm just
Of course.
Well,
especially when the white Power Ranger was like the white knight of the group. He was like the one that came in and he's like,
why
I'm more powerful than the 5 of you combined.
Yeah,
but combined, we can be super powerful.
Yeah.
Why did the
Power
white Power
Rangers
Ranger have to be the
why do
savior?
I gotta be the black Power Ranger? It was literally like the black Power Ranger's gotta be black. It's like how unoriginal. It's like Jason's going. Let me get this right. Jason's gonna be the red Power Ranger, and the black Power Ranger is gonna be the fucking black one. And then Billy was the blue, and Billy, in hindsight, was Joe Biden. I think is what we're getting.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
G-Dubs, you catch any of that DNC or any highlights or anything?
I saw highlights. I did see AOC's speech where she nominated Bernie Sanders.
She called him Bernard,
Yeah.
which confused the shit out of me, man. As a Vermonter, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody use the phrase Bernard Sanders. I didn't know who she was talking about at first.
Yeah, and it's funny that's an old Bernard actually is an old Vermont. Call people in Vermont Bernie, so that is a little strange. It makes him sound like the old dog that's running around in a sheep field with his cheeks kind of hanging down in a certain way, Here comes Bernard Sanders over right here on the field, Here, boy, come on this way, Bernard.
I was really impressed that Joe Biden could read from a teleprompter. That was amazing. I had my doubts.
Yeah. I was impressed that he only made like one gaffe during his speech, but it was a really good one, and like not many people caught it. I had to watch it a couple times, but at the end of his speech, he said something along the lines of, "And together, there was nothing we could, or when we work together, there's nothing that we can accomplish."
That's true, though. That's a true statement.
Please fact check me, people. Will go find the video online for yourself and watch it. But that really, that hit me in the
problem. The problem is that might not translate to Asia as well,
Sorry, Kevin.
How sad is that, though, that like we're judging our candidates on who uses teleprompter the best? Or not necessarily the best, but the best of the two. Because like Trump, like it's his teleprompter moment, this week, I guess, when the Empire of Evil has their convention.
Yep.
That I'll watch if I need a hangover, quite frankly, but like his teleprompter skills are awful. So I just can't wait for that. I can't wait to not watch that too.
I'm excited to rip on that next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But my closing statement is the same as my opening. I'm amazed that the party that has the most Hollywood members in it didn't produce a better spectacle. That was my only takeaway.
Well, I think the problem is what my take is on that is if you bring actors into this political shit right now, it makes these actors sound like some type of robot that was built in the early 90s that never got an upgrade program.
No,
like, I can't even watch it because it's so these people, for whatever reason, do not know how to talk from the soul. It's like the soul. Here's a Harry Potter reference for you. The soul is right. Gone. There's nothing left. It's like listening to Voldemort talk over and over and over again. And it's like people are sitting there and they're going like, I support Joe Biden for so many reasons. It's like you're alone in a hotel or your fucking apartment. Just speak from the heart. Just say something that sounds somewhat convincing. And if all of a sudden you had an actor in there that actually had the ability to show emotion, then all of a sudden it throws this whole campaigning right out the window because it's like, oh, wait, Brad Pitt, if you had heard Brad Pitt even, I'm not saying Brad Pitt's the greatest actor of all time, but if he just was interspliced talking with all these half-wits that are trying to make a political endorsement, it would sound so out of place that you would be like, what was that unbelievably eloquent thing that I just heard? That was like even with like Obama is almost too famous for his own good at this point. He comes in and gives this thing about the Constitution, and you're almost like, can you imagine Trump saying something for 5 minutes that sounds even remotely as intelligent as the way that was composed and dictated? You know what I mean? Like it would never happen. Trump would be like, we had a big Constitution, and it was a big one. There was a lot of smart people, but it's a Constitution. That's a Constitution. You know.
No, and my point, I guess.
This is a preview of his speech next week.
I might not have said that as clearly. Is that I don't think they should have brought celebrities on, but the people that were somehow able to make Robert Patterson look like the most badass man on the planet, like they couldn't have helped produce this thing and maybe added a little production value and like it was just a little dry. And I expected more out of the Party of Youth, I guess, I expect old and stuffy if I'm to watch the RNC, but when I watch the DNC, I'm expecting, I don't know. I just expect
You're going to see old and stuffy this week, trust me. Older and stuffier. That's right. If you thought last week was awful.
Oh, I'm so ready.
This week is worse. I think
Kevin,
the only speech I want to watch is Scott Baio, to be quite honest with you.
I'm kind of excited that they're having Nick Sandow come out and speak, actually. That's going to be interesting. Anyways, we'll keep the subject train rolling here. We're going to get right into QAnon. For those out there who don't know, spend 5 minutes reading on Wikipedia what QAnon is. But basically, it's going to tell you that it's a far-right conspiracy that Donald Trump, our president, was selected by a group of generals in secret to fight a cabal of deep state cannibals and pedophiles. Somehow, this theory has gotten so big and so much traction online that now there are legitimate journalists, and I say that because they have access to the White House press briefings, which I assume is not, anybody can go, that they are now asking president and the press secretary and the vice president about their stances on QAnon. I figured I might ask you guys if you've heard about this conspiracy, if you have any thoughts on it, and what you think about mainstream media just jumping right into this. And also, I believe Kevin's show tomorrow is about this. So
yeah,
a little teaser for tomorrow.
That's right.
Kevin, you want to lead?
That's right. Sure. I'll just say everything I was going to say in my podcast tomorrow, so nobody listens to it, but nobody listens to it anyway. So basically, I think the title of tomorrow's podcast episode will be "You Can't Spell Quack Without QAnon." Like, honestly, like I looked it up like you did. I Googled it, and I wish that I hadn't. I'm like, it's the stupidest theory. I don't get it, and so many people believe it. And I think I might know somebody that believes this theory, because last week I wrote a Facebook post about how terrible Trump is. And I had one of the people comment saying, "But Biden's a pedophile." And I'm like, what are you talking about? And that's what the theory is.
Well, part of it, I guess. I didn't
That's
realize
part of the theory, but that's part of the theory. And I'm like, oh my God.
Gino, you heard about this?
I wouldn't call him necessarily a pedophile. He's creepy as fuck. Like don't get me wrong. Like I don't want him near my daughter.
Can you really call anyone? Right.
But
you're gonna call someone out for being creepy. I mean, honestly.
And that takes a lot.
I'm just kidding.
For me.
Colin, you heard about the QAnon thing?
I love this theory because it explains so much stuff. It just all of a sudden everything comes into focus, and it's like Trump is not just a double agent, but he's a triple agent in a triple agent coast of espionage, where he's like, look, I had to go deep. And when I'm saying deep, I mean deep cover over 30 years. I was for the Russians with the Americans while working with the Russians secretly for the Americans. I had to go to Epstein's Island for many, many months, and nobody could know what I was doing while I was there. Okay? I have positioned myself perfectly to be able to take the pedophile ring down from within while secretly working with the Russians. It all comes clear. It all becomes clear.
Yeah.
My takeaway has been that it's so bizarre. I honestly, part of me thinks, and this is like a separate conspiracy about the conspiracy, is that I think the media is bringing it up right now to somehow discredit the Epstein case. It's the theory that, while we're on the subject of conspiracies, warning, guys, we don't have proof for any of this, but we're going to talk about it because it's fun.
There's a big allegedly.
Yes, there's a big allegedly on all of this. So please clip me out of context and make me look like a crazy asshole because I'm a drunk magician and I don't care. So it's one of those things where it's always been said that the FBI creates conspiracies that are really crazy to discredit conspiracies that are closer to the truth. And part of me thinks it might be one of those things where I'm not saying that Trump is secretly fighting a cabal of pedophiles, but I mean, 10 years ago, the fact that a certain gentleman by the name of Jeffrey had an island was just a conspiracy. And that's been uncovered. And that the fact that rich, powerful politicians and actors in Hollywood were part of said conspiracy was a conspiracy. And then we get more news about like Kevin Spacey and more photos of President Clinton just came out that showed him hanging out with Epstein, getting a neck rub from one of the alleged victims, him on the plane with some other people who are billionaires.
So we got a neck rub from the girl that,
trafficked. You know, it's not a big
lot
deal.
of hearsay what you're telling me over here, Hickory.
I hear that, but it made me think that maybe that's the media, not necessarily anybody's goal with the media is to create such a crazy conspiracy that even when it comes out that there was 5 or 6 people, high power people that were involved in this thing, that it's like, oh, that's it. You know, it lessens the impact.
It's like Wag the Dog. It's like that movie Wag the Dog.
I'm not familiar with that film, Kevin.
It came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It came out in like 98. It's with Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had to film they had to. That's basically what they do. They created a controversy to cover up another controversy.
Okay.
Right, or something like that. Yeah,
that's my personal
that's basically what you're saying.
QAnon
right.
thing.
Yeah.
But moving on, if you guys don't have any more about that, I want to talk about Atlas Gym in New Jersey. I've talked about this a few times on the show before, but basically it's a gym in New Jersey that has kind of refused to shut down because they've said, hey, if people are responsible adults and they want to come work out and be healthy, then they shouldn't. And so far, there have been 0 COVID cases traced back to Atlas Gym. It's in, I can't remember the town in New Jersey, but they have experienced fierce pushback from the state government saying, hey, you can't open. They continue to stay open. Both members have been fined like $10,000 a day for about a month now. They've had their doors boarded shut by police, which they kicked in and reopened their gym. And this past week, they had their business license revoked. Friday, they announced their new plan was they're going to become a campaign spot for a Senate Republican in New Jersey so that they can stay open. And they have decided that they are going to exercise their rights and have workouts where they fundraise for a politician that agrees with them that the gym should be open. I thought it was really funny that they found such a workaround. And I figured I might ask you guys what you thought about maybe we should make the comedy club a polling place or a campaign place for Bernie or somebody else, and then we could just be open.
Well, here's the problem with that, Hickory, is the second that these employees that were previously working at the gym, now they're staffers for the U.S. Senate. Now they're entitled to a $15 minimum wage base, plus probably some type of incentives and packages. So the second that this whole thing realizes that they're no longer staffers, they're actually gym employees, they're going to be pretty upset with when they find out the correction and their earning potential there.
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I take about $15 an hour. Yeah, that doesn't really fly, I don't think.
Yeah, people come back to the Willow Mill Comedy Club like, where's that $15 an hour I used to make? Life was good then. I got that stamper wage. I don't know what the benefits are of that. That might or may not be true. But I think that this is a great idea. I think that that's funny.
Yeah, I think the premise is great. I think if you are dedicated to staying open, you know, they found the workarounds. Like I can't hate on that, man. Like a lot of people give people a hard time about that and finding the loopholes. And it's like, no, man, if they wrote the law and didn't fill in the holes, then.
Well, and the problem is like that there's like being a business, like they're calling it like a business prejudice, you know what I mean? And like even right now there's a lawsuit pending in New York City with the state of New York for indoor dining this winter.
Yep.
You know, and it's like if they're going to allow for like indoor retail and they're going to allow for like all these other industries, but then there's becomes a bias with the food industry. Like that is a bias, you know what I mean? If that's not actually like proven and quantified that is, to be true, I don't know. You know, they probably do have a case.
G-Dubs, what do you think about finding the loophole and keeping your business alive?
My one thought is I don't fucking work out, so I don't give a shit.
G-Dub's much more worried about the donut shop down the street.
Yeah. Like, if the donut shop fucking closed, I'd be pissed, man.
I hear that.
I'd vote for whoever to keep that shit open. Jones's Bakery, baby.
I agree. Donuts are essential.
Yeah.
If we're going to keep liquor stores open, donuts are the only thing that can cure my depression sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Like, I mean, I've pumped iron before. I get the feeling, the rush, that those endorphins hitting your brain. But I don't know, man. Maybe I feel bad for these guys because their livelihood is being just totally pissed on by the New Jersey government. And trust me, no one wants to be pissed on anything from New Jersey.
No. If piss couldn't smell bad enough,
yeah,
you gotta come from New Jersey.
It's like the PATH train is still open, and someone is right now, as we're doing the show, pissing on something on the New Jersey PATH train or New Jersey rail system anywhere. And it's like, yeah, and then they're gonna say like the gym that people are actually taking protocol. Thing is, if people are taking protocol seriously, like it's ridiculous to not give businesses a chance, you know.
Especially innovations in the gym industry. If you look it up, there's a thing that people have created now called a gym pod, which is basically like a 10 by 10 square, and they build them out of PVC, and then they sheet them with clear plastic. And so there's a door, but once you walk into this little, you wear your mask into this room, and once you're in that little room, everything's contained, and then they can come down and, you know, you can clean it afterwards with whatever to kill virus and such. But I felt like that's one of the few industries where people are really dedicated and will find a way to make it work. Kevin, any opinions on Atlas Gym? And
Yeah, I do. Because like, first of all, I think overall, shutting down all businesses was an awful idea because a lot of these businesses aren't going to reopen. So people have to do whatever the hell they have to do to keep open. And some people make awful decisions. And obviously Atlas Gym made an awful decision. You know, they didn't go with the pod idea that you just talked about. No, they're going to pretend to be a political office for a candidate, you know, a campaign office for a candidate. No, but of course it's New Jersey, so that type of shit makes sense that they would do that. Which the mafia is probably involved. What I'm saying, like Tony Soprano's third cousin is probably doing something, and
maybe you didn't hear me. We're a campaign office now, all right?
Now grab a towel and work out.
I wanted to. This one wasn't going to be a subject for discussion, but I'll bring it up because Colin mentioned New York City. I just saw. So New York City right now has a 14-day quarantine mandate. If you go into the city, you got to lock down for 14 days. I just read that New York City is hosting the MTV Music Awards, and that they are making the exception for all these celebrities to come in for this award show and not quarantine, which pissed me off because I want to know how I get my name on a list where I'm exempt from the rules. I figured
you
you
know,
guys.
you know what's actually interesting is it's all a big racket, because actually I had a friend who just had to fly into the city, and she took a private jet. And
Oh, okay.
if you fly in with a private jet and you don't fly commercial, they actually don't put you on the quarantine list either, even if you're flying from a red zone,
But
which
if
is
you
just.
but if you drive in, you're still quarantined, right?
If you drive in or if you fly commercial and you get
Even
on.
though sitting in my car by myself, I come into far less people than if I got on a private jet.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's what's crazy
yeah.
about, and that's what's crazy about actually driving, is that driving, like with people who are undergoing severe health treatments for any type of illness, are often recommended to drive and not take any type of public transportation, because your contact exposure is far less. Even if you have to go to a gas station, it's still, you take the steps where your exposure to other people is way, way less than anything like that. But it's funny that there's sort of, again, there's this sort of bias where it's like, if you fly private, if you do certain things, you can skirt around. So I'm sure with this, they're probably assuming most of these people, if they're going to pay them more, or they're going to make arrangements for them to fly private into the city, and then they won't have to, go through what everyone else is going through, which is a 14-day quarantine, which is really challenging.
Are you implying that people like Ariana Grande have wealth privilege?
Well, I'm not going that far.
Okay.
I never said that. Please don't
want to put words in your mouth or anything.
Thank you.
What do you guys, Kevin? What do you think about that? We're making exceptions for the elites, but not for the masses.
I mean, that's the way the world works, Kyle. Don't you know? I mean, honestly, that's the way it goes.
That's why I'm kind of.
Whoever has the most money gets what they want. So make more money.
I'm working on it, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I was talking to me.
Sorry, that was my
Coming to you live from the Woolen Mill Comedy Club. This just in. Make more money.
Make more money. Make more money. Problem solved.
G-Dubs, what do you think?
I really want to know how much money Doja Cat has.
Right.
Like I didn't even know about this chick until a couple months ago.
I didn't know she was a chick.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, I don't know who Doja Cat is personally.
I just heard about this person just now.
Yeah. How famous is she?
To me, it sounds like a funk artist.
She's a rapper.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's all with all the animal names now? We got Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat.
We've ran out. We've ran out of names.
Good Lord.
I want to know why Megan Thee Stallion is a stallion, because that's a male horse.
I actually heard an interview with her the other day where she explained it, that the stallion is the dominant horse, and while male. And then she also explained that she's not the stallion, she's the stallion, because she is the one. I don't know. It was.
She's the moron.
I don't know. She's got a wop. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Got the
Looks
wet.
more like a fap.
Got that macaroni in a pot. That's what I heard.
Speaking of wops, not talking to you, Colin. Did anyone hear Ben Shapiro say the lyrics to Wet Ass Pussy?
Oh God, my sister. Yes, I did. I watched it, and then we ended up talking about that over dinner with my family one night.
I feel like I've been robbed of an experience. I did not see this.
And then my sister sent me. Oh God, I'm gonna try to find it. One of the best memes ever about that. Sorry, but yeah, it was pretty damn funny, because Ben Shapiro is a wholesome dude. No matter what your opinion of him, he's a conservative, wholesome dude.
He sticks to his guns. He sticks to his guns.
Did you watch it, G-Dubs?
His asshole gun, but it's his gun.
Yeah, I watched it and it made me cackle.
Oh, it made me laugh pretty damn hard, I will say.
Yeah.
Even if you do not like Ben Shapiro, you should watch him say the lyrics to WAP.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I thought was
I'm gonna have to see this.
it's watching a conservative grown adult
Oh, I did hear about this.
try to read the most offensive lyrics you could ever read.
It reminded me of the 90s decency trials for the music industry where like you'd have like all these people reading lyrics to like all these songs and like these senators, and like it was a huge case.
Yeah, but I mean, this is America, and what's funny about it is like there will always there will be no punishment for this because it's free speech, and it'll just basically it'll all become that much more normal. In 1994, it was Sega Genesis versus the Supreme Court for the first video game to be able to have human on human kill. Before that, there was rules in place in that video games you couldn't have a person kill a person. And it was Mortal Kombat with Sega Genesis that was the Supreme Court hearing, and they actually had where you could do the combo where you could grab the guy's head and rip his spinal cord out of his back, which was a great combo.
Yep.
And they there was blow like that, and now you look at like what we're able to do today. So this is probably just paving the way for a little bit. Do we have?
I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah, that's better than.
It's macaroni in a pot, and it says stirring, and then it says Ben Shapiro, and it's a face of a woman just shocked. I figured since we got a few more minutes, we'll respond to a couple comments that came in during the show. There's some good ones in here. Let's see. Matt Englert told me, Hickory, you need to open up your door. I need some late night energy from earlier on. Jason said, did you guys know that Kanye West is on the ballot in Vermont?
Oh,
I didn't know that personally.
I know who I'm voting for.
Birthday party. And then Matt Engler said she cooks in a wok. And then Vinny also commented, a theory more messed up than Obama. Oh, a theory even more messed up is Obama being one of the lizard people. And I have not heard that one yet. I know about lizard people.
I thought Vinny was one of the lizard people.
I would assume he was like the king, but I don't.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, okay. We're just about at the end. Anything you guys need to get off the chest before we go?
I'm pissed that McTaggart didn't wear a Batman shirt.
I did yesterday when I watched the trailer.
I did this to be twins.
It's all dirty now.
I literally changed.
You need to tell me these things.
Yeah, we need to plan better, guys. I mean, we're all here.
All right. The next time I'm on the show, I'll wear a Batman shirt.
Okay. We'll be glad to have you back, sir.
Okay.
It was great. And anything you want to get off your chest, Kevin, before we go? And any plugs?
Yeah, I did enough at the beginning.
Kevin's got a great podcast
Monday through Friday. I put it out at 5 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, the podcast, and that's it.
When did your views or listens start? If you put it out at 5 a.m., like 9?
I don't know. I just tried to put it out as early as possible.
Okay.
That's what I heard was good advice to do or something. So, or I looked at like the times that my podcasts were downloaded, and early in the morning was like the best time. So
okay,
that's why I do that.
Colin, anything you got to get out there before we?
I'd just like to say I loved Jerry Seinfeld's response to Stand Up New York's co-owner, whatever the hell he is, on New York is Dead. If you haven't read the article, it was in the New York Times today. Jerry Seinfeld just lights him up. It's just brilliant, and basically states the fact that like you're an idiot, and last thing New York needs to hear is that it's dead, and that this guy's heading to Florida, and good luck to him down there. But check out Willamille Comedy Club. We're right now working on our first live show in the space, so stay tuned to the Facebook on that, and hopefully we'll be sending out details in the next couple days. So
Nice. Kev, where can we find you, my friend?
The McTaggart Attack podcast, wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts.
Also, McTaggart Attack on Twitter.
Oh, and I have a website, McTaggartAttack.com.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
How fresh is that?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay, congratulations.
There's not much there, but I'm working on it.
It's a start.
Right.
G-Dubs?
At Foley Kills on Twitter and Parler and Instagram, and GW Foley on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
As always, you can follow me on Facebook at Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming or at HickoryTDAU. I am now also on Parler, so hop over there, and maybe I'll be posting, I don't know, probably not anything political, but you'll find out about the show and shit over there. Also on Instagram at HickoryTDAU, because I am just slipping the media D in everyone. So please follow us, comment, like, subscribe. Thanks to everybody who watches the show. Thanks for all the support. Kev, thank you again for being on the show. Colin,
You're welcome.
It's good to see you guys as always. And remember, please, at home, out there, stay safe, stay drunk, stay overwhelming.